Hi Stephanie, how are you doing today?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Why don't you tell me a little bit about what's been going on with you?
So I know last time we talked about just like different changes that I wanted to make in my life. And so I thought about like which ones that I want to make like top priority. And I think that I really want to focus on my finances and just like saving, putting more money into savings and keeping it there.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. I think that that's a great place to start. I know that we did talk about quite a few things. So what kind of brought you to the decision to focus on your finances?
I think it's just where I am in my life right now and being almost done with school and kind of really not knowing what's going to come after that. So I just kind of want to make sure that I'm ready financially for whatever decisions I make, towards the end.
Absolutely. That sounds like a great idea. I think being financially stable will help you kind of make those decisions in the future as well. So that's good. Now, with your finances right now, what are kind of some of the problems that you're running into?
So putting money into savings is I don't have a problem with that. And it's pretty easy, but it's keeping it there. And not, taking it out for whatever, whether it's to pay bills or just, going out with friends or whatever.
Okay, so how much money currently are you putting into savings?
$50.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is every paycheck that you're doing that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, what about putting this money away kind of makes you feel good and makes you want to do more of that?
I just feel better when it's there and not in my checking account, because I know that at least there's a chance that it could stay there, and that I won't, touch it or mess with it or anything.
Okay.
So I think it just makes me feel more secure with my finances in general.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that's a good feeling, the security. Now, you say that you get it in there and everything is great, and then you end up taking it out right away.
Yeah.
So is this kind of a pattern that's gone on for a long time, or is this something new since you've been in graduate school?
It's definitely more since I've been in graduate school because I just have more jobs now, so I'm making more money.
Okay.
And so it's easier to like put the money away.
Okay.
For sure. Yeah.
Good. So what I'm hearing you say is that, putting the money away is a good thing. It makes you feel better. It makes you feel more confident, and it is easier for you now. But now the thing that we want to really change and really tackle is being able to keep that money in there.
Yeah.
So with that, what are some of the struggles that you have? I know you said going out with friends, paying bills and things like that. What are the things that are keeping you from not touching that money?
I think just the desire to save more money and be more financially secure is kind of what motivates me to, put it in my savings and keep it there.
Okay.
For sure.
So has there kind of been a lack of motivation with that lately, if we're kind of pulling out a lot of that money?
Yeah. I don't know if it's lack of motivation, but it feels like I can always, have a reason for it. Or, in my mind, I always rationalize with it, I have more time to save. There's more, I have, 6 months before I, graduate and move on. I can save, more money in that time. Kind of thing.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So at this point, you had just said that, graduate school is almost coming to a close. You're not sure what the next step of your life is going to be. Is that some additional motivation maybe to then put that money in savings and leave it there?
Yeah, I think definitely for sure. Because I do have some plans of what I want to do, and I know that there's going to be large financial requirements for it. So.
Okay. Yeah. On a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel about making this change? Are you committed to this change more so now than you were in the past? Or on a scale of 1 to 10, where do you feel you are?
I feel like I'm probably an 8 on that scale. I feel pretty, I feel a lot more confident now than I did in the past of being able to make that change and wanting to do it.
That's fantastic. Good, I'm glad. Really quickly, we're going to just go over some of the maybe positives and negatives of making this change.
Yeah.
The first thing that I want to discuss is what are the good things that could come about of you not changing this behavior, of you continuing to pull out of that savings account?
Yeah. I think just kind of maintaining where I am now, which isn't bad. it's not awful, and like it's definitely like manageable.
Okay.
So I feel like the advantages would be just to keep on doing and maintain where I am.
Okay. Do you see any disadvantages about you not changing the behavior?
Yeah. I think just not having that financial security in the future, and that's something that's really important to me. And so I think if I didn't make any changes, I wouldn't have that. And I think that would be like not beneficial for anyone, really.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, talking about the future and financial security can also bring about lots of stress, and it's good that you're thinking about the future.
Yeah.
And now, what are disadvantages about changing the behavior? About, you know, leaving that money in there and being good with keeping it in your savings?
Yeah. I think I would just have less in my checking, which probably wouldn't, in the future, I don't think it would be that big of a deal when I have like an actual like real job, instead of like multiple like small jobs that, you know, pay like a little above minimum wage, and you know, working part-time because of school. So it's not really like feasible all the time to just live off checking, but I think that's probably the disadvantage for sure.
Absolutely. And then finally, what are good things about changing this behavior? What are the positives of keeping that money in savings?
I think it's something that I really want to do, and so it would make me feel good about myself and my ability to kind of follow through with the things I want to do, but also just financially, like having that security, and kind of setting myself up for success in the future and not being limited. Like I feel like if I don't save now, then when it comes to like graduation and moving on and doing whatever I want to do, like I feel like if I don't save now, then I'm going to be very limited in my options, and that's what I absolutely don't want to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. So what I'm hearing is that you're very invested in your future, which is a great thing, and I see how much hard work you've put in just by what you tell me about grad school and all the jobs you're working. So I think it is important that, you know, we talk about this change and how to set you up for the future that you want to have. The one thing that I want to kind of talk about maybe is you threw in something there that, you know, kind of stuck out to me. You said sometimes it's not realistic to just live off of your checking account, which makes sense. So I just want to see, you know, you said you're a level 8 out of 10 on the commitment scale. Maybe if we scaled back what we're saving and made a budget, do you think that might help us keep what we're putting in savings, keep that there?
Yeah, I definitely think so, because making a budget is not something that I've ever like super committed to before. It's really not just been, or it really hasn't been like a priority or something I needed to do. But I think now it might be a good first step in kind of making those changes.
Yeah, because if we can see what we have to spend on rent, what we have to spend on bills, then maybe we can set aside some money